In today's video, I'm going to be doing my pros and cons on the brand new Motorola Razr 2025 edition. Stay tuned. Alright everyone, hopefully you guys are having a good day. Hopefully everyone is safe out there. We have the brand new Motorola Razr 2025 edition, and I've been using this device for over a week now, so I think it's time to show you some of the things I like and some of the things I dislike about this device. So let's go ahead and start off on a positive note and start off with those pros. Alright guys, so the first pro is going to be the form factor of this phone. I feel like this is one of the most beautiful form factors in the mid-range arena right now. The fabric on the back of this, the Razr logo, the minimalist approach, it just all looks really, really nice. And it's also great to get this back screen right here and this foldable design or this foldable form factor, and a phone that's $699. That's kind of a hard thing to find right now unless you guys want to buy an older Samsung Flip device. So I really am grateful that Motorola made something like this, and especially when this goes on sale for like $400 or $500 on Black Friday or in November or December of this year, there's going to be a lot of these sold. These are definitely going to be some sought after devices, and yeah, really do like to build on this. Very premium build. I love this mesh design on the back of this as well. It feels solid, feels premium, and it looks classy as well. Second pro is going to be the great looking display on this device. This is really nice display. I was kind of surprised. I thought it was going to be a little lackluster, but of course we have an LTPO AMOLED display on this, 120 Hz refresh rate, HDR10 plus, and we have 3000 nit peak brightness on here. So we have a pretty bright display, and even in the sunlight right here, as you guys can see, you guys can still see the screen. So that's not going to be an issue right there. I know some people were saying that this was going to have some sort of issues on the display and direct sun and all that type of stuff. I've had no issues whatsoever with this display in sunlight. It's honestly comparable to even like my Galaxy S25 Plus. But yeah, overall the display is great in sunlight, and for watching Netflix, YouTube videos, scrolling through social media, just in general, like if you're at home or you're in bed, this is going to be a very, very nice display. And of course, it folds as well. Another thing really quick, I didn't really have this on my pros and cons list or my pros list, but the haptic feedback from the Motorola Razr is actually really good. So when you're texting, when you're typing stuff on YouTube, you may be on Google Docs, you may be searching through a website or something like that, the haptic feedback in this device is very, very solid, and that probably has to do with the premium design on this. This of course has a aluminum build and of course glass on this as well, so we have a very premium build on here. Next up, we have a beautiful big battery on here, a 4500 milliamp battery inside this device. Overall, you're going to get over a day of battery life on this. You are not going to drain this phone within a day unless you are constantly like gaming on it or something like that. So great battery on this. I find myself getting to about 40% at the end of the day, and I am a heavy user. I do film, I do YouTube stuff, I do have an online business, a few different online businesses, so I'm definitely on my phone a lot for the majority of the day. So great battery life on this device. Next pro has to be the stereo speakers on this device. Of course, we have Dolby Atmos on this device as well, but the speakers on this are very, very nice. They have a lot of bass, the clarity is great, and I haven't really had any cons about the speaker on here. Alright everyone, so finally getting into the dreaded cons on this device, and there's really only two about this device. The first one is going to be the juddering that we see at 1080p 30 frames per second. I feel like for the $700 price tag, the video on 30 frames per second should have been much better, to be quite honest. And here's the video right here, as you guys can see. I don't know why, but it seems like it does a skipping thing. Like when I'm panning across the field or I'm panning across the city, it seems to be doing this skipping thing where there's not that great of stabilization and it's doing this little judder thing. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. That is what we see on lower end mid-range phones. So I was hoping that we were going to get a better camera setup in here for videos, but overall the video isn't that great on here. I would say it's kind of mediocre, to be quite honest, especially for that $700 price tag. And after that $700 price tag, you're going to be getting, of course, tax on top of that, paying probably $770 in some counties of California and New York and stuff. So yeah, definitely not the greatest camera in the world. The one thing that does save this though is it is a very solid point and shoot camera. We do get some very poppy colors on here, and that's due to the computational photography. It doesn't have to do with the lens or the sensor in this camera. You know, that's something a lot of people don't like. I know a lot of people like to have the natural, pixel photos and stuff like that. But with this one, I don't mind it. I feel like the photos on here are great. They look really, really nice. Point and shoot, Instagram ready. You guys are going to have a solid camera experience overall, but just that video, man. Just something I can't get over for the $770 price tag after tax I paid. And the last con on this device has to be that there is no SD card support in here. And that's something that, of course, Samsung and Apple have been doing, on their mid-range devices. But I wasn't thinking that Motorola was going to do this. But yeah, kind of sucks. We do have 256 gigabytes of internal storage inside of here, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, I thought we were going to have at least some expandable memory, especially for those people out there that use Motorola devices. You guys are usually the type of people that, tend to put an SD card in a phone. You're the type of people that like a headphone jack on a phone and stuff like that. So there's a lot of good stuff about this phone, though. I don't want to totally crap on it. There's more pros and cons, honestly. And I've really been enjoying this device so far, especially the form factor of this. This is something that I have missed for a long time. Obviously, we had the Motorola Razr, I believe, released in like 2002 or 2003 or something like that. I'm sure a lot of you missed this form factor, and you're getting a little tired of that metal slab. So this is definitely something you guys should check out if you are in the market for a foldable device and you don't want to pay over $1,000. I still really enjoy this device, but if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. This has been Safon from TechRight. Peace out, Tech Gang.